There's the halftime stats brought to you by McDonald's of Hawaii.
Well, there's a couple of things that stand out. One is Hawaii's offense is 1 for 8 on third down, and they're 1 for 4 on fourth down, so obviously some inefficiency. Also Hawaii with 2 turnovers. Utah State does not have any. Also 3 sacks to 0. I mean, so their stats are all leading to the score, which is Utah State 28, Hawaii 3.
Utah State 79% completion percentage in their passing game compared to 35% for Hawaii and quarterback Cole McDonald. He took some shots. Yeah,
I've never seen Cole, or really any quarterback, take as many hits as Cole has in this first half. Now, he had the flu as well, 103-degree temperature, and he's not making any excuses, but he is taking a lot of vicious shots.
Now, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team to find out what's on tap, brought to you by Coors Light. Scott Robbs, good evening.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I talked to both coaches. First for Utah State, Matt Wells. He was very happy with the way the team came out. They scored 28 points in the first quarter. That kind of relaxed him. He said the defense was okay. They gave up yards between the 20s, but kept Hawaii out of the end zone. The big question is the availability of Jordan Love in the second half for the Aggies. On the Hawaii side, Nick Rolovich said, we're still in this game. The players believe it. I believe it. We need to block better, and we need to catch the ball. And also, you mentioned that Solo Vaipulu will not be available in the second half. So it could be an interesting final 30 minutes in this game between these two guys.
Scott, thank you for that. So Utah State will get the ball first. We're going to find out if it's Love or if it's Columbia at quarterback. We see Columbia warming up on the Utah State sideline. Hawaii will kick off to get things going. Now, technically, it's not over. 28-3, but the level of execution has to rise for Hawaii on offense.
But especially with a backup quarterback, Columbia is going to play the second half. I think Love's done for the game, and that's huge for Hawaii.
So they go pooch kick with Mesco. The Aggies take it near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's an illegal fair catch signal. The guy who caught the ball didn't signal for the fair catch. The other guy did. Ball's dead right there.
That's kind of sneaky.
Yeah, and we saw that in the NFL.
The other guy called it.
Yeah, and we saw that in the NFL this past week.
81 gave a fair catch signal but did not field the ball. Therefore, the ball is placed where it was caught. First down.
That's reverse sight. So it will be a quarterback. Columbia. Jordan Love. We saw the video, and we're guessing at this point because no actual report from the Aggies sideline, but it looked like he bounced his head off the turf here at Aloha Stadium. The Colombian shotgun, pressure up the gut, and he finally keeps it, tucks it, rolls left side. May have picked up 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, and there's a great inside push by both Samuela Akuteo and Zeno Choi right in the face of the quarterback, and he scrambles and picks up positive yards.
So pressure up the middle that time for Hawaii. Now the fake give to Thompson and completion to the opposite side. That pass caught by Taylor Compton.
Really a nice play designed by David Yost in terms of giving this quarterback, the righty, the ability to have level passing routes.
First down Aggies at the 35-yard line. They trail 28-3. And this time the give to the right side. A great second effort again by Darwin Thompson.
Not only great second effort, Robert, making Ikem Okeke miss in the hole, and then the second effort, and here comes a late flag.
Small tussle at the end of the play involving Matautia.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct by number 27 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. This is number 27's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
So the back end of that play is Thompson and Solomon Matautia.
Yeah, and they go tempo. You running backs got to get off the ground. Defenders have to let them get off the ground.
Now, maybe it's technical though. You're going to call Matautia for laying on the player. Shouldn't you call a punch to the face? The reaction penalty? Just saying. I agree. And big time hit on the quarterback, but he had given it up. The ball was in the belly of Gerald Bright, and Columbi took a shot.
Yeah, and if you're going to run that read option game, you're going to take some shots.
They got back to the original line of scrimmage, makes it 2nd and 10 here. Now, it's not fair to judge Columbi yet, but this offense, without Jordan Love, it's a total different dynamic. They run inside, Bright. May have got to the 35-yard line. I think Jordan Love is the closest thing we've seen at Utah State to Chucky Keaton.
Yeah, and I remember Chucky Keaton vividly in terms of his explosiveness, both running the football and throwing the football. Career cut kind of short by a catastrophic knee injury.
Yeah, and Chucky Keaton now back in Logan, Utah. He's one of the graduate assistant coaches in this current program. 3rd and 6. They give it to the left side to Gerald Bright, and he's short, about a yard short of a first down mark. Tripped up right at the 40-yard line. 30-yard line check that needed the 29.
They're going to go quick on 4th and 1, hoping Hawaii's not set and run some type of power game.
Do they get the sit now? Change the look back to the sideline.
Yes, it is. And this is referred to as the look offense. They're going to look over, get the right call, get the right formation, and then hopefully execute.
They give to Bright left side. And because of second effort, he gets across behind the block of Dax Raymond, his tight end, to get a first down, along with Roman Andrus. He's a starting left tackle, 76.
Yeah, and you're right. I think Hawaii did a good job initially, but it's who wants it more, who needs it more, who wants to win this football game on a situation of 4th and 1. Hawaii needs more green jerseys to the party.
And again, hurry up tempo. And Columbi goes up top. Had a receiver open in Jalen Green, the transfer from USC, had a step on a defender. The ball just out of his reach.
Yeah, and that's Kai Kaneshiro, number 24. Maybe a little cloth, but at the same time, incompletion.
Hawaii emptying the bench on defense, getting looks at a ton of plays.
And Kai Kaneshiro, state champion from St. Louis, the Crusaders, one of the best defensive backs in the state of Hawaii in the Polynesian Bowl last year, getting his first action.
And also back in the mix here is Pumba. Manley Williams, 49. As an edge rusher in this defense. And Akoteo into the backfield. And what a bounce by Darwin Thompson. Touchdown, Utah State. He bounced away from Akoteo and Picanso.
Yeah, I think he stepped out of Akuteo's tackle, and, you know, sometimes that happens, but it was the next tackler that for Hawaii. This is 26 yards. You can see right now, Akoteo with a tough tackle in the open field. Great balance by the running back, but it's right there. And I'm not sure, but it looked like Kanai Picanso has to continue to bring his feet with him and grab some clock.
Right for the extra point is Dominic Eberle. What's not going to feel good for white defensive players and coaches when they watch the film is the opportunities that they let get by.
Yeah, because the initial contact is there.
It tells you at least alignment and assignment is good. The execution of what to do when it comes your way has been shown.
Timeout.
Aggies running back Darwin Thompson, 10 carries, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. That last score, 26 yards, finished off a 9-play, 80-yard drive that took up 3 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah,
he's on that tonight.
Yeah, and great balance, great vision, great strength, using the stiff arm, stepping out of tackles, showing power, and again, the ability to outrun defenders. Thompson is the all-around back, catching the ball out of the backfield. Good balance. There's another, look at that bounce right there when he used his offhand. That's a good running back, one of the best we've seen this season.
And a kickoff by Eberle. Thompson also has a catch for 34 yards. And the guy with the big smile and the blue t-shirt, there's a lot of love for him in Logan, Utah, but not a lot of love for him in Loa Stadium tonight. Looks like his night is over That's Utah State quarterback Jordan Love, who has come into Halaba Valley tonight and is exactly as advertised.
Yeah, he is. And big, strong, smart, athletic. Can make all the throws. It'll be interesting to see the maturation, the evolution of Jordan Love, and whether or not he can play on Sunday. I would say, after watching him tonight, he can.
10 of 13, 127 yards, and the 1 touchdown for Jordan Love. Hawaii on offense takes over, gives to Freddie Holly. It's 35-3, 11-21 remaining here in the third quarter. It's a hard time for me to see this offense finding a rhythm without John Ursua touching it. 6 targets for Ursua tonight, 0 catches. 7 targets for Cedric Byrd, 2 catches. That pass intended for JoJo Ward, well over his head, but Marcus Armstrong Brown has caught 4 of the 6 that's come his way, and all 4 catches have been for first downs.
Yeah, you're going to see a multitude of blitzes, run stunts, and pass dogs. And there goes number 4. And when you fake the RPO, sometimes the running back cannot help in protection. That means the math has changed in advantage defense.
But that was advantage calls created there by Aaron Wade, who's a safety, a senior, 6'1", 210 pounds from Lithia, Florida. McDonald looks right side, completed pass to JoJo Ward. And first down, Rainbow Warriors.
And even on that last throw that Cole was unsuccessful, there was pressure. Here's no pressure. Ball thrown a little bit behind the receiver, but again, a completion.
So again, Cole McDonald this time looks left side. Ursua, his first catch tonight.
Yeah, Z Thunder double out by the number 2 and number 3. Wide receiver, a staple against zone coverages, running away from the inside backers. John Ursua has to touch the football. He has to catch the football. He has dropped 3 passes this evening.
So 76 catches coming in, number 1 in the country. 1,083 yards entering tonight's game. Number 2 in the country. Also number 1 with 14 receiving touchdowns. Cole McDonald over the top. Looking for Cedric Byrd, and Byrd on the back end. Defended again by Andre Grayson.
Grayson does a nice job of disrupting the timing, making sure it's not pat and go, where the receiver and the quarterback just time up the trajectory throw. And again, Cole McDonald has at least 10 throws this evening that are highlight type of throws, but he's had 10 or so that he's been under duress. A few times he has missed the open receiver. There's been bad communication. This is an interesting game for Cole because he's had so much success. He already has 2 interceptions.
I do like, though, the take a shot mentality by the offense. Fred Holly left side. I mean, it's been not a great night for running the football. 7 yards per carry for Utah State in that first half. Hawaii average in the run game, 1.9 yards per rush.
Yeah, now the leading rusher is Holly, but McDonald close by. But you're right, Robert, if you cannot be physical enough to run the football, it's tougher for this run and shoot offense to beat you with the throw because they're don't have to stack the box to stop the run.
And look at the stacking that's going on here by Utah State. Where they're bringing 7 players and a quick hit and breaks a tackle. John Ursua, touchdown number 15 in the pass game, number 16 overall.
54 yards, and that's what you do when you see 0 coverage. Cole McDonald reads it, and the receiver reads it. Quick slant, 1, 2, 3 slant, and that's pressure. Give Cole McDonald a lot of credit. He throws it off his back foot, a little bit behind the receiver, but again, Ursua needs to be good set on the outside, good stick. Ball slightly thrown behind him, and he breaks the tackle. The confidence of John Ursua.
Aggies stacked the box. They brought 7 defenders, leaving all the receivers for Hawaii in man coverage. And Ursua not only makes his first catch of the game, second catch, check that, but he broke a tackle, and the guy grabbed his helmet, and when he spun around, he had the heads up enough to readjust the helmet en route to the end zone.
He's still adjusting his helmet, and I agree with that. And the thing about defensive back play when you're in cover 0, you have to take away the quick slant. The easiest throw is the quick slant.
So
Make them run the out.
Explain cover zero.
Cover zero is there's no free safety in the middle of the field. So if they do catch the ball on the inside, there's nobody to help you make the tackle. You saw Ursua's helmet get a little bit twisted. But again, we expect John Ursua to break tackles. We expect the confidence to take short passes to the house.
So you can grab a hold of the helmet. You can't grab a hold of the face mask. What's the difference?
Questionable. But going back to cover zero, Robert, that means there's 4 defenders on 4 receivers. There's 7 people. If you look at the run and shoot, there's only 6 people to pick up 7. The quarterback will slide one way, and he's responsible for the outside edge rusher of the slide protection.
So it's without a safety playing deep center field.
Exactly.
Hawaii's going to go for 2, trailing 35-9. Ferruta in at running back. Cole McDonald rolling right side. And Cole McDonald completes the pass. 2-point conversion is good to JoJo Ward. A sign of life for the Rainbow Warriors on offense now.
And hopefully this will give them the swag they need. This is a great call by Craig Stutzman, Brian Smith, Nick Rolovich to give Cole the ability to go to his right and put it where the defender cannot defend the great throw.
It sounds like a Marvel Comics defense. Cover zero.
Yeah, it does. And Cole McDonald does a nice job of holding his cadence so he can allow the rushers to get to the line of scrimmage. Now he knows cover zero. He's got to go to his right-hand side to his favorite receiver. And John Ursua is going to set the nickel back with a little outside move. And right now, Cole McDonald has done this 1,000 times in practices and plenty of times in games. Cover zero means defensive backs are playing man coverage with no help by a free safety or anybody else. It's one-on-one Marvel comic type of defense.
And if you're a receiver, whether you're a slot receiver, an outside receiver, and you see cover zero, you're man-to-man, you've got to treat it as a message of disrespect.
Yeah, and Robert, you break your routes off as well.
And the outside kick, effort by Hawaii, quickly recovered by Utah State.
The one thing about a Nick Rolovich coach team is he's going to take chances. They're going to be onside kicks. He's going to go for the 4th down. This ball was kicked directly at the center on the front line of the kick return. And nice job of avoiding it, not letting the ball bounce off you. That was a good job by the kickoff return team for Utah State.
I mean, it planned perfectly, executed perfectly by Ryan Meska. It's a line drive to an up man who probably wasn't expecting it. And in a perfect world, Hawaii gets the rebound. Flag fly, pre-snap.
A false start by number 51 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Quinn Fickle is the center. When you get false start by the center, somebody wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Robert, for those guys are seniors. Hawaii doesn't have a senior on the offensive line, so Hawaii a much younger team than the Aggies.
So the give this time and stop at the line of scrimmage at midfield is Darwin Thompson.
Kalen Hicks, good job by the safety playing in that 8-man box. Samuela Ateo in on that tackle as well. Investment to Ala.
Again, Henry Columbia, the quarterback, in for Jordan Love. That pass by Columbia completed to Aaron Vaughns across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a run and shoot formula as well. Take the flat defender to the flat and hit the curl route on the trip side.
But Columbia looking left side has a running back wide open. And Darwin Thompson was finally pushed out of bounds by Solomon Matautia.
Yeah, and the defense needs a big play. They need a stop on 3rd down. If they can do that, I think the offense now is starting to execute and believe.
1st and 10. It's marked at the 36-yard line. Columbia now 3 of 4, 22 yards in the pass game. And Darwin Thompson, 11 rushes for 135 yards. They fake the end around, and Columbia throws it left side. That pass completed to Ronquavion Tarver.
Yeah, a little bit of orbit motion along with read option with also the ability, the 3rd option, to throw the football. I mean, David Yost, the offensive coordinator, doing a phenomenal job with giving his offense options.
That's Kalen Hicks for the Rainbow Warriors, starting safety, being attended to on the field. Utah State closing in on 400 yards of total offense. They come in averaging 471 yards total offense per game. That's second in the conference. First in the conference, averaging 49.4 points. And those numbers would be school records as far as averaging points per game and yards per game. 395 total points coming in to this game. The school record is 454. They're closing in on it. That was set back in 2012. Right now they're averaging 49.8 points. The school record is 38.
Media timeout.
7. That's a lot of offense. Kalen Hicks helped off the field to the Hawaii sideline. Now make the dream of education a reality for the student athletes. Visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the donate button in the Ahahui Koa Anuenue banner. 35-11. Utah State leads the Rainbow Warriors. Again, the quarterback for the Aggies is Henry Columbi. In for Jordan Love, now in street clothes and a blue t-shirt on the Aggies sideline, knocked out of the game as far as we can tell. The give here is to the right side, and Darwin Thompson having a heck of a game.
Yeah, Thompson is, but I'll tell you what, Solomon Mautautia, nice job of making that tackle in the open field.
And no surprise, Aggies go up tempo yet again. It's 1st and 10, and Columbia being pushed out of the box. Turns the corner, and he will score.
Yeah, and Robert, that's one of those RPOs that is not only good for 26 yards, but it had the ability to throw it out to the flat defender. Right here, he doesn't give, he takes it, he pumps the ball to the outside, and then just the rest is history.
And they go for 2 now, and successful. I didn't expect Columbia to get that touchdown.
How much credit do you give to the offensive coordinator, David Yost, who both you and I have been around in casual settings, and I think is one of the, he doesn't look like a football coach. He doesn't talk like a football coach.
He's like a mad scientist.
Exactly.
There's something in his apertures that gives him all kinds of things to think about. And the extra point here by Dominic Eberle. Now, David Yost is the offensive coordinator for the Utah State Aggies, who are having a record season offensively in total offense and scoring. What's he remind you of?
Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, there's not a football coach in America that looks like this guy. You would swear he's a surfer or something else. But when I talked to him about Tua Tagovailoa, and he was talking about things that I didn't have in my most serious
but the type of
chemistry class. Yeah, I mean, just, I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it was nuclear physics or astronomy, but that guy comes from left field.
Like I never knew there were different types of spirals. He was explaining to us, I remember that conversation, the different type of spiral because it's left.
And he had 3 pairs of glasses on.
It was unbelievable. Funny guy. Like, just a nice guy. The kickoff by Eberle. It's taken short of the goal line and brought out by Elijah Dale. Across the 25 to the 30, a flag's thrown across the 35-yard line and finally stopped just short of the 40. Flag was thrown way back near the 20-yard line.
And again, Hawaii trying to make something happen. But when you do that, 90% of the flags are on the kickoff return, and then your offense is in bad field position because it's a spot foul.
Holding by number 25 of the return team. It's a 10-yard penalty and 1st down.
So holding on a would-be excellent kickoff return by running back Elijah Dale.
Yeah, Michael Gabriel, the special teams coach from Hawaii, they already have a blocked field goal. They have a punt that was tipped and affected in terms of the actual net on that punt. He's trying to make something happen because you got to win on special teams when your defense is struggling.
After the penalty, Hawaii takes over 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. 7 minutes, 8 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Hawaii trails 42-11. Fred Holly may be a pickup of a yard or two.
Yeah, and that's what Hawaii's averaging running the football, 2 yards. And again, first down is where Utah State wins on offense. Hawaii has to gain more yards. They're down by a number of scores. They have to be not so conservative, but more efficient offensively.
They give Holly a gain of a yard, call it 2nd and 9. And Cole McDonald looking right side. One for a home run ball intended for JoJo Ward. And I think had he led Ward, Ward has the foot speed to get to it.
Yeah, maybe slightly underthrown, Robert. The defensive back comes back and makes a play on his football. But you got to admit, there were a time in this season during this losing streak or when Hawaii hasn't played as well, people were crying for the vertical passing game. We've seen at least 5, 6, 7, 8 balls thrown vertically. And like you said, you like the aggressiveness of the offense because it does open up the underneath routes.
I think it started game 1 on the road to Colorado State when Cole McDonald throws a 70-yard touchdown to John Ursua. Picture perfect. Picture perfect. McDonald has pressure backside, stands in the pocket, and it's well out of bounds. The nearest receiver, Ursua.
Yeah, and last week against Fresno, Cole had that beautiful throw off a scramble, extended the play for the long touchdown pass. I've been very impressed by his ability to throw the deep ball.
You know, it's
gives the
funny.
receiver a chance to catch it.
What's funny is you talk about all the attention given to the offense, but you were highly impressed with his defense of Utah State. Stan Gaudian back in as punter now. It's the right-legged guy going to the right side. But this Utah State defense is #1 in the country in forcing an opponent to go 3 and out. Average almost 7 times per game.
That is
Crazy
an incredible statistic combined with the turnovers that we talked about, the interceptions that caused fumbles. That's why this offense is so prolific. Everybody gives the offense credit, Robert. Going into this football game, I said they're not as physical as Fresno State, but to me, schematically and the way they execute, this is the best team on their schedule this far. Utah State's playing at a high level.
And it's all the way around, as you mentioned. I'd like to see the algorithm of the analytics involved here, because you get all the scoring on offense. There's 8 non-offensive touchdowns. Now 22 takeaways and a quarterback off the bench tucking and running and picking up 5 yards.
Algorithm of analytics.
That's crazy
I
stuff.
have to explain that to some of the viewers.
I mean, they start punching numbers in the computer and see how good you are by looking at those statistics. And Columbia, his pass to the left side is hauled in by Ronquavion Tarver. Now, because they get all the takeaways, they force the teams almost 7 times a game to go 3 downs. And you get the 4 defensive touchdowns, 4 touchdowns on special teams. It's crazy stuff. And then you look at, oh, by the way, they're one of the top scoring and top producing offenses in the country.
And it shows you the synergy, and it shows you how well they are coached on offense, defense, and special teams. And people still just want to talk about the offense.
Offense sells tickets. Offense
Defense
makes
wins
headlines.
championships.
And on 3rd and 4 here, Columbia's pass in the middle of the field, complete by tight end Dax Raymond.
And what's impressive about Columbia is they're not changing what they do offensively.
Which is not the norm. When your second quarterback comes in, you oftentimes see a change in the style of plays that are being called. And look out, Gerald Bright, nobody home. 47-yard touchdown run.
Robert, that's almost 300 yards rushing for Utah State. I mean, they've broken tackles. They've made good decisions in terms of running inside, running outside, read options. And both of those running backs are complementary. They're both very talented.
I mean, we've got one running back with 3 touchdowns. We've got Gerald Bright now with 2 touchdowns. A lot of scoring. And the extra point by Eberle is up, and it's good. Gerald Bright, 12 carries, 95 yards, 47 here.
And that's a little power play where they pull the guard off the read option series, and then once you get to the second line, past the second line defender, it's a house call.
That's now 49 points. Right at their average. And a 4-play, 59-yard drive to get the last 7 of those points.
And you know what's impressive, Robert, is Thompson has 141 yards rushing. Now Bright has 95. We will probably see 2 running backs with over the century.
And 3 running backs averaging at least 7.9 yards per carry in this game. And what, not running back, but Henry as well. Columbia, he's averaging 11.3. Like crazy numbers.
It's been the run game that has really ripped the hearts out of this Hawaii defense, tackling what they call gap responsibility.
Dominic Eberle, another kickoff for the Aggies, and another out of the end zone effort by Elijah Dale across the 30-yard line, and talk about a head of steam across the 40 and finally brought down near the 43-yard line.
That's a great return by Elijah Dale. Watch how he never breaks stride. There's nothing but a sense of purpose, north and south. Watch him right here. That athleticism, the balance, the ability to make that cut. But I'll tell you one thing. It takes a lot of ambition, to run kickoff back right into the teeth of kickoff coverage and not break stride.
He got into high gear real quick, too. Right in front of the Hawaii bench. Aggies ranked 18th in the country, 7-1. Their first time they've been ranked since 2012. Cole McDonald, right side, pass caught and then quickly dropped by JoJo Ward. He was dropped. He caught it.
When Cole has time, he's going to scan the whole field. And then if he understands there's nobody open, he will run. But a good job of going through his total progression.
They give him 6 yards on the completion, but there is a flag on the field. The officials discuss. One of them is missing is a white hat.
Illegal touching by number 19 of the offense. He ran out of bounds on his own and was the first to touch the ball. It's a loss of down at the previous spot. Second down.
Now, because the official was missing his hat, that was a giveaway.
Yeah, because he throws his hat in the spot he thinks the receiver went out of bounds. Once you go out of bounds, you cannot be the first one back in to touch the ball. Now, you can catch a tip, but you cannot be first to touch the football.
Unless he was pushed out of bounds. And it changes the entire conversation. That catch would have stood had he been pushed out of bounds. But now second down, and they're looking shovel, but Cole McDonald went overhand.
Yeah, you talk about throwing from different arm angles, because the shovel pass is usually something that's underneath, underhand, but he went over the top on that shovel pass. They're both passes. If the ball hits the ground, it's an incompletion. That new fly sweep where they count that as a pass now, added to some of Tua Tagovailoa's passing yards today. That's an interesting kind of concept.
Boy, he's at midfield. Cole McDonald looking right side. And something is not right in the universe. And Cole McDonald gets up slowly again. It's the 5th, 6th time maybe where receiver was thinking one thing, quarterback was thinking another, and the quarterback took a shot again.
McDonald's been hit a lot this game by guys in white jersey. This time he gets tripped by his own teammate, R.J. Hensley.
J.R. Hensley,
my bad,
has the most game experience as offensive lineman on this team.
I'm thinking R.J. Hollis,
yeah,
but it's J.R.
It's J.R. Hensley. Cole McDonald has time on 4th and 3. And looking home run. And now a flag. There's all kinds of action. Extracurricular action.
It's a dead ball foul, so it's not going to change who gets the football, but there will be.
So is it the first to act or the second. The intended receiver is Marcus Armstrong Brown.
Oh, he gave him a little elbow smash.
And you saw
WWE.
WWE action on the bottom
Then
of the
you got some
pile.
act. That's some acting right there. That's theatrical.
So you had a small little love tap. And then you got Cameron Haney, number 6 for Utah State, who in all NBA flop.
I think
on
that's
everything.
FIFA soccer.
It's like,
After the play, there were 2 fouls, both unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 10 for Utah State, number 85 for Hawaii. The fouls offset, but it's the first penalty of unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for both players.
I don't like that. When 2 guys get into
First
it,
down, Utah State.
offsetting penalties, essentially nothing happens, right? They should determine, this would probably take too long, who's the more egregious one, and then give somebody some advantage.
well, if you overflop,
That's a penalty in itself.
you should lose your scholarship. Like, flopping is like the least manly thing ever.
Did you agree with the FIFA soccer thing versus the NBA flopping?
Yeah, it's out of this world. If you get caught flopping and your game's on television, you should lose your scholarship.
Yeah, you're gonna see. Well, first, the elbow smash was there. And here's the flop.
That's egregious.
He actually did a backflip.
And then Nalei gets a penalty for basically nothing. Now, Utah State runs a reverse. And again, like the game started, it's Aaron Vaughns. And he's still going across the 10-yard line. And there's a player slow in getting up.
Robert, that play was not timed up exactly like it was practice. But at the same time, 41 yards, and they had a wall out in front of them.
And Will Ferris is slow in getting up for Hawaii. We've said the number 41, 46, 41, 41 again way too many times.
Yeah, and look at the wall of white jerseys out there, and what are they doing? They are making blocks downfield, and running backs, receivers, making people miss, stepping out of tackles. There's going to be a whole bunch of missed tackles when Corey Bertune and staff watch this defensive film.
You saw 51, the center, goes downfield. He went flying out of the screen. He wasn't flopping. He got hit. I think it was Picanso. But the lead block you're talking about was 76 in Roman Andrus. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, a senior from El Dorado Hills, California. And that last name sounds familiar in Hawaii. It should. His father played UH basketball for the great Riley Wallace back in the day.
Riley Wallace, the legend.
When I saw the name, I said, can't be. Is the world really this small? Well, you see, it's not a very usual last name. It's rather unusual.
Less than 6 degrees of separation.
And there's 76. The big kid, 6'4", 310. And Utah State up the gut run, touchdown. Joe Brett. Wow.
9 yards, and you're going to see the H-back come across the formation. H counter.
55-11 with 3:16 remaining.
Utah State with over 500 yards of total offense.
So Dominic Eberle had to attempt another extra point. It's 56-11. So the scoring now goes, Hawaii won the second quarter.
3-0.
3-0. Utah State scored 28 in the first quarter. First time in school history they've done that in back-to-back games. And Spicoli to the far right has got to be on top of the world. Great offensive mind.
The surprising thing is he only has one pair of glasses.
Yeah.
He had 3 the last time you and I talked to him, and we had no idea what he was talking about.
That's the offensive coordinator, David Yost. And then now Utah State comes back with 28 points in the third.
No, it's amazing numbers. Another thing, I remember him telling me when Tua throws the ball, it's the tightest spiral he's ever seen, and you don't see it come out of his hand for approximately 7 to 10 yards. That's how tight the spiral was. And you know what? He was prophetic because Tua is just killing them at Alabama.
A fascinating guy to talk to.
He used to be at Oregon.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy numbers. When I saw that Utah State coming into this game had 50 touchdowns already. Crazy number. They got 58. They got 58 touchdowns. Another kickoff to Elijah Dale, 2 yards deep in the end zone. Across the 20, still going across the 30 and to the 36, 37-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, there are multiple flags.
Now, I mentioned the 58 touchdowns because the school record is 60. They're 2 from the school record. They scored 60 touchdowns back in 2011. And they've only allowed this season, including the one tonight, by Ursula, 20 touchdowns.
Holding by number 44 of the return team. It's a 10-yard penalty, and it's first down.
Okay, Robert, I'm going to take you back to 2004. Hawaii lost 2 games in a row to Fresno State and Boise State by the aggregate score of about 130 to 20. It was the worst 2 games probably ever played in Hawaii football. You know what they did for the next 3 games? They beat Idaho, they beat Northwestern, and I think it was Michigan State, but I know it was a Big Ten opponent.
That was the run to get
to the bowl game,
Birmingham,
which they won the bowl game as well. I thought that was the greatest coaching job in the June Jones era because the team was so low. You have to keep them believing, as bad as this looks tonight.
And the run to the right side, it was Chad Owens against Michigan State. And to finish the season, to go win off against Michigan State. And then he goes up and shows up Roddy White in the bowl game that year with Alabama Birmingham.
Would you say the most exciting player that you
Chad Owens?
Chad Owens?
Yes.
Mighty Mouse. Fun guy to watch. Fun guy to coach.
And again, a quick pass, quick hit. Cole McDonald to the middle of the field, across the 40-yard line, John Ursula.
RPO, you're going to see, again, Ursula doing a nice job of finding that window between the nickelback and the stub linebacker, 17 yards.
The 17-yard pickup, McDonald to Ursula. I want you to think about something. We mentioned the Chad Owens conversation. Don't give me an answer yet. Top 4 receivers.
All time?
All-time UH
I
history.
can go quick with that. Are you talking about statistically or who I think over
Who
time?
you think? Now they're flagging the play. Easy offside by Utah State. Cole McDonald trying to take a free shot. You're 4.
Okay, I'm going to go Devon Best, Ashley Lee, Greg Salas,
Offside
Aloha
by
Polaris.
number 10 of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty and replay first down.
So Tipa Nalea.
There he is.
There's Greg Salas. Now,
4,000 yards receiving.
Oh, ridiculous. And to be that size and play slot.
Oh,
It's
that's
incredible.
what I think changed the whole definition of you don't have to have small guys.
Yeah.
You can have big guys in the slot. I loved when Greg Salas was in the slot for Hawaii.
He and Kilo Polaris did one season. Great pair.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes. 2-0-0.
Ashley Leedy, no-brainer.
First round draft pick.
Salas, no-brainer.
6 or 7 years in the National Football League.
Devon Best, no-brainer.
Best hands I've ever seen.
But you got to draw straws now.
You always get that on the 4th guy in any
the
poll.
4th guy. And I think as Cole McDonald tried to complete to the outside, incomplete, intended for Armstrong Brown. Do you go with Polaris, or do you take Owens, who adds the greatest return abilities in program history,
Well, then I think
to the mix?
Then I think you get into the all-purpose, and then
Yeah.
I think Chad Owens is #1. I think he was second-team All-American receiver and return guy. Led the nation in kickoff returns.
And then June Jones stopped using them on kickoff returns and punt returns.
I was coaching kickoff returns, so obviously that was something I didn't agree with.
But easy to understand why. It was so valuable to that offense. The 2nd and 5 now. And Cole McDonald to the right side and shoved out of bounds by Ferguson. 1:49 left in the 3rd quarter.
Okay, going back to Chad Owens. The BYU game, I think where Rolovich threw 8 touchdowns.
2001.
I think Chad Owens had 334 return yards, which was an NCAA record at the time. One of the greatest special teams game in the history of the
They
NCAA.
took like a kickoff return and a punt return.
I'm not going to get any money for my concussion test if I keep remembering all these things way back.
You tell him to ask me.
Tell him to ask my wife.
I'll help you out, brother. 1st and 10 here. Boy, across midfield now. Utah State brings pressure on Cole McDonald.
And took a shot.
And took another shot.
A high-low shot.
Short. Intended for Cedric Bird.
You know, Robert, when a quarterback gets hit in the target zone, but when there's guys low coming to his legs and getting all rolled up on, that's where the Tom Brady rule comes into effect. And got to protect quarterbacks, even at this level.
Motor never stops for Suli Tomaivena. He's the guy that put the hit on Cole McDonald. They got Unga, Leilua, Tomaivena, Te'i. That's all part of his team in Logan, Utah. Again, flags fly. (56-11) is the score here. 1:15 left in the 3rd quarter.
A false start by number 57 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still 2nd down.
5th false start penalty of the evening. Robert, did you see Billy the Warrior for Hoko?
Amazing.
It's going viral. It's getting bigger every week.
Again.
LSU.
I have to correct somebody in social media a couple of weeks ago. It's 2nd and 15 here. We're now backed up to their own territory. That pass completed to Cole McDonald and got his helmet ripped off. The flag flies immediately. It'll be against Logan Lee. I saw on social media, they did the haka with his son, Braden Fable, who was starting defensive lineman for LSU. It's like, the guy said, that'd be like a great pregame thing. And
a personal foul, grabbing the face mask by number 47 of the defense. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down. Since the foul caused the helmet to come off, number 9 does not have to leave the game.
Yeah, and whether you grab it by the face mask or the back of the helmet, anytime you rip that helmet off, it's going to get called.
So brings me back to my other question. John Ursula, didn't his helmet get grabbed?
Didn't come off, but
I don't think Logan Lee got face mask. I think at the top of the helmet, ripped it off. But back to Vili. The guy said, I think this guy would make a pretty good mascot. Did you really do it? He's only the greatest mascot in the history of college football. Stop it. Boy, now inside the 40 of Utah State. McDonald has time. Looks home run. Touchdown. Devin Stubblefield. 2 hits in a row.
38 yards. Devin Stubblefield is good in baseball as he is in football, has disappeared for the last couple of years due to injuries. Nice job with that left hand, Robert. You see that little push off? That's a veteran type of move.
Creating distances.
A little bit of separation.
So Stubblefield now, his 2nd touchdown of the season, his 6th touchdown of his career here at UH.
Going back to Billy the Warrior.
Former St. Louis Crusader, who's carrying on a conversation with DJ Williams at the far end. So the conversation's not pleasant.
Do you remember when Blair Kavanaugh was banging the drums, Mike Kavanaugh's son? That was the classic Billy the Warrior. There's a little contact on that play, but I'm not sure it's pass interference. The defender has the right to the football and he has the right to stand his ground. Bird obviously thinking differently.
Yeah. So if things remain the way it is, there's 43 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Away trails 56-17. Utah State is on its way to only the 3rd ever win in program history as a nationally ranked team.
Interesting, because you remember Robert Turbin. You remember Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had some football players. You mentioned Chucky Keaton. I mentioned the other couple of linebackers, the Virgil brothers, as well as Luke Frackle, I think his name is. Those guys, how did they get so many athletes to Logan, Utah?
I mean, it's unbelievable. If you start looking at the numbers, they're 18th ranked now. The last time they were ranked was 2012. They were 0-2 as a ranked team in 2012. 0-1 in 1961. They're 2-0 as a ranked team in 1960. It's crazy numbers. Hawaii, on the other hand, will fall to a nationally ranked team for the 43rd time in program history. The short kick taken across the 40, where Utah State's offense will take over. 10 straight losses to a nationally ranked team.
One streak that I was glad that Hawaii got that monkey off the back was the national television streak.
Yes.
That was really horrific, and then this year they put an end to that. I mean, we still have to remember the first half of the season when nobody gave Hawaii a chance. They were double-digit underdogs in the first few games, and I think that's what raised the bar, raised the expectations. 3 new coordinators, 3 new schemes, 10 new players on offense, 8 new players on defense. I mean,
run right side again by Gerald Bright. I mean, it's not supposed to be that free and easy to turn the corner at this level of college football.
yeah, and there's no Jelani Tavai, one of the best players in Hawaii defensive football history. There's no Jeremiah Pritchard, the thumper, the inside backer from Silverado High School in Las Vegas. You know, but at the same time, Hawaii has to tackle them because that's what the fans want.
How much is Jelani Tavai missed? Tonight represents the 3rd game he's missed this season.
The first game of the season and the last.
That's due to injury, and he's still leading tackle. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Rainbow Warriors inside Aloha Stadium trail 18th ranked Utah State 56-17.